Hi Sloths, and welcome to Unpopular Opinions, the show where I complain about everything and also tell you that there's actually some good things about these things that I complain about. Today's topic is a bit of an awkward one. Not too long ago, a friend of mine asked me, what are the tropes that you hate in anime? Because, I'm a huge anime fan, and they're just sort of they're trying to get into it, but it's not as easy for everyone. Um, Especially with some certain tropes. And it took me a while to think about this, but one of the biggest tropes I think that people tend to hate on a lot in terms of anime is the whole pervert trope. Now, I'm talking creepy old men, I'm talking about young lads, and I'm talking about young lasses as well in anime who are very hands on with other characters or have very dirty thoughts and dirty minds. And there's a lot of basically jokes and humour about certain things like underwear. I'm trying to keep this as friendly as possible, but so yeah, in anime, there is a lot of these kinds of characters. The biggest ones off of the top of my head are like Jiraiya from Naruto, Master Roshi from Dragon Ball, Brock from Pokemon, Wakaba from Fairy Tail, and of course the big one, Minoru Mineta from My Hero Academia. I swear, I absolutely hate Mineta. Every time I see Mineta, I just want to punch its face. Excuse me. So, I actually really do not like this trope. I like it in some cases because some cases it's actually quite funny, or it's done in good taste, or the character is actually, pretty good at the whole thing and doesn't go overboard with it. But a lot of the times, like with Master Roshi and Mineta, there is no stopping them. It is constant, it is irritating, and it's just downright disgusting. I will be saying, though, it is not limited to men. And it's also obviously not limited to just old men or older men. Because we've got people like Brock and Mineta who are, super young, and they are just terrible. I think Denki Kaminari is also a little bit on that scope as well, since he tends to get dragged into a lot of misdeeds with, or at least alongside, Minoru Mineta. So, like I said, it's not limited to just men, because you've got characters like Akano Himejima from High School DxD, you've got Esdeath from Kill la Kill. Also, everyone in Queen's Blade, literally just everyone in Queen's Blade. I know that is the anime is supposed to be the entire sort of trope in one continuous burst. I don't really know how to say it. It's basically supposed to be like that. It's designed to be just exactly like that, but everyone in Queen's Blade is basically the whole pervert trope constantly, and it's so annoying. I don't mind Queen's Blade because sometimes the story gets pretty interesting, but a lot of the time it's just really bad. Not gonna lie. And I just find it really annoying because it's a lot of the times people are like, oh, why is it like this? Why is anime so sexist? Well, it's not, because, like I just mentioned, it's not limited to just men, and it's not just limited to just men doing that with female characters. It's also men with other male characters. What I do want to say is there are good things about this, and there is obviously a need for this in anime, in particular. I wouldn't say a need or a requirement, really, actually, but more like it's there on purpose, and it's there sometimes for good reason, and it helps. It can sort of help with writing, I don't really know how to say this without being like completely one-sided, because I really just don't like this trope. Um, I will say not all of these characters are like really bad people just because of this trope. Uh, Obviously, a lot of these tropes do ruin characters a lot, like it did with Master Roshi. But Brock didn't have this like constant thing. Um, it was only, it was very very often that he'd react uh, very impolitely towards women. I'll say, in a bit of an over dramatic womanizer fashion. But it didn't ruin his character because a lot of the times Brock was really smart, he was really thoughtful, and he was really helpful towards Ash and his journey. He guided him, and he also had like his own like major moments to shine as well in the anime of prowess and strength. So it doesn't always ruin the character. And with Jiraiya, he helped guide and teach Naruto all of these amazing moves, and he was a surprisingly honourable man in times. I won't go too much into these characters because just in case you've not seen any of these anime for whatever reason, I don't want to spoil it for you. And also like Esdeath has like a proper story behind her, and Akano Himejima, she has I believe she has father issues. I think that's what happened in the anime, but I can't really remember. But it is annoying. It's also annoying to see constantly, and it does get in the way of serious moments because a lot of the times it's used as gag humor to break up the pacing between like serious moments or to make the audience laugh or something. And it just becomes this constant gag. And that's the whole point of gag humor. It's not usually a one cut deal. It's constant. It's every now and then. It's used for particular moments, and it can be used really well sometimes for a really good laugh. I can understand that. Another reason why it's used so often is the one that everyone hates: fan service. Now, a lot of popular anime these days, especially the stuff that goes mainstream, is directed towards teenagers. And we all know what teenagers are like when they see a pretty person on screen. So, fan service. There's always like the obligatory beach episode in a lot of popular anime. Or pool episode or whatever, where they're sat by the pool doing nothing. It's usually a filler episode, or they'd somehow managed to fit into like the main story for some reason. Fairy Tail has, I think, at least two of these, or at least something along the lines of two of them. I know they have the actual beach episode, and then they also have like the hot springs episode. Oh yeah, Loki. I forgot about Loki, or whatever his name is, Leo from Fairy Tail. I forgot about him. He's really, really perverted and is a massive womanizer. Constantly. Oh, that's another one that I forgot to mention for the whole not limited to men thing. Virgo from Fairy Tail. Really, 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 really perverted. Like I said, it's often directed towards hormonal teens these days, which is kind of annoying because, well, just think about it. If every anime is directed towards the same person all the time, it just gets boring. It all just becomes very samey. And I keep seeing this as well recently with a lot of isekai anime are directed specifically like towards that sort of age range, and it's becoming so stale now that it's hard to find any good isekai anime. Isekai anime, if you don't know, is basically where they chuck one person or a few characters or whatever into a different world. That's all it is. It's basically like chucking someone into a game into like a game where like Sword Art Online, is it Konosuba as well? The Rising of a Shield Hero, that's a really good one. ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, that's another really, really good one. I can't wait for that to get back. Overlord recently came back. So yeah, the fan service stuff, it's really annoying, yes, I know. There's always the obligatory beach episode or spa episode or episode where it's something to do with women basically like being in beauty pageants or wearing swimsuits or whatever, and it's just like, oh, why does this need to exist? I do understand it's very annoying and frustrating for a lot of people, but I can also understand why it exists, and I don't hate it as much thinking about it as I feel when I see it. So it's sort of like it irritates me when I see it, but if you think about it, it's not always the worst case scenario. But the main thing is, it's just, at the end of the day, it's just a trope. It's just a thing that people write into stories, usually for a quick laugh, or it's there to take up a specific character mindset space. So like usually you get like one character that is like this throughout the entire series rather than everyone being like this. So it's limited, at least, to a lot of people. And from what I've been hearing from my little bit of research on this, is a lot of these don't seem to be nearly as bad as what it used to be sometimes, and a lot of anime are trying to avoid a lot of this trope, which it's nice to see them doing that. I don't think it's a trope that should be gotten rid of entirely, because like I said before, it can be really good as gag humor every now and then. It can really help with some writing, and as long as you're doing it in good taste or as a really good gag, then I guess it's okay, as long as it's not forced down your throat every 10 seconds. So, yeah. I guess that's my little piece of mind on the whole pervert trope and why I don't like it. This is an unpopular opinion of mine, because obviously it's used so much in anime that clearly the anime scene likes or wants it, or at least the writers and the artists enjoy doing it. And the voice actors clearly don't have too much of a problem with it, so I guess it's fine. But at the same time, I don't like it. I think it should be limited a little bit more than what it is. I think that it's good that a lot of anime are trying to avoid it, but don't count it out just yet. It can get better. I'm sure it can. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Please like and subscribe. It's always free, and I'll see you later.